first business, I'd actually like to invite Carlos Domingo, who is the CEO of Telefonica R&D, to introduce our first business.
Thank you, Aaron. So I've been asked to present a company from Ireland, and I want to introduce the company with an anecdote that happened. Matthew, which is my boss, sits there and sent me an email last week saying, can we select 4 companies that Telefonica Digital, which is where I work, needs to be paying particular attention. So I went through all the list of all the companies that we have here and look at the businesses we're interested in, like financial services, content, etc. And I picked 4, and one of them I mentioned to Matthew. This one has nothing to do with what we do in Telefonica Digital, but it looks so cool that we need to have a look at it anyway. And then after that, Simon and Aaron contacted me and said, you want to introduce this company? And that company is Hiri, which the reason I was so interested in the company is because they are tackling one of the biggest problems I think everyone has in the society, which is email. So these guys are trying to fix email. So Kevin and Aaron, thank you. And Dave.
Thank you very much, Carlos. So in 2001, the average employee received about 25 emails a day. Fast forward to 2013, and it's more like 125 plus. Yet the tools we use to manage our email really haven't changed in the past decade. The result? We're snowed under an email. The average worker spends about 2.5 hours a day just trying to deal with their email. There's plenty of companies trying to fix the problem out there, and I'm going to put them on this graph for you. Consumer and enterprise on the x-axis and innovative versus old school on the y. And when I put them up here, you'll see that most of the activity is actually happening in the consumer space. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't have a problem with my personal email. It's my work email that's the pain point for me. And that's why we created Hiri. Hiri is the most innovative enterprise client available today. So let me show you a little bit about how Hiri works. So this is the dashboard, and this is what you see when you open Hiri in the morning. These 3 timers tell you when you should check each of your inboxes. And you'll see in my actionable inbox, I've got 8 emails, and in my FYI inbox, I've got 92 emails. So straight away, we've separated the things you need to do from the things you just need to know about. Let me show you how we do that. So we're going to click through to the actionable inbox here. And it all starts with the composed mail. So the first thing you'll notice is that we've replaced the 2 in CC fields. They're gone. It's action and FYI. So I'm going to put Kevin in the action field and Laura in the FYI. And because I've put Kevin in the action field, I need to specify a task for Kevin. And we do that because 47% of actionable emails contain no discernible action whatsoever. So we just fill in the email like normal, and we put in a subject line, and we fire that off. So now we know that that email for Kevin with the important task is going to arrive in his actionable inbox, whereas Laura, who just needs to read about it, that's going to go into her FYI for later. It's really simple. So I've got a few emails that I need to deal with myself. So I'm going to open up an email here. And for every email I receive, I need to do one of 4 things with it. We call them the 4 Ds. I'm going to delegate that mail to somebody on my team. I'm going to delete it or archive it. I'm going to defer it for later, and this will bring it back into my inbox at a specified time. But in this case, I've decided I'm actually going to do this, so I'm going to drag it into my to-do list on the right-hand side. So I no longer need to go looking for that email again. It's there, and it's just that easy to manage your mail. And it's collapsed there, so we know we've dealt with it. I'm just going to show you one more feature of Hiri here today. We're also trying to improve the way people communicate inside an organization. So I'm going to go into the FYI inbox, and I've got this email from Laura. So after reading this email, I realized that really I shouldn't have been on it. It didn't have anything to do with me. So I'm going to rate it, and I'm going to say, it's not relevant to me. So now when Laura goes and she checks her dashboard, she sees her communication score. And this is based on feedback from her peers and a few other bits and pieces as well. So we aggregate this and we anonymize it, so nobody's going to know who rated whom. And this is just for Laura. It's not for sharing with her boss or anything like that. And we give her recommendations on the right-hand side. So where are we at the moment? Well, we've just started our first trial with O2 Telefonica Ireland. And the CEO of O2 UK, Ronan Dunn, has said he likes Hiri too, and he wouldn't mind giving it a try either. Carlos just told me actually before this that he'd love to see it in Telefonica R&D too. And they're in good company. So this is LinkedIn. Just take a moment to read this slide. We think it's pretty cool. And he's not alone either. So this is Rick Kelly. He's a global director at Facebook, and he said, I would kill to have Facebook use this. This makes me feel good. And this next slide might surprise you, but guess what? We showed it to Microsoft, and they quite like it too. And it's not just the tech companies. Neelie Kroes is EU Commissioner, and she said, we really need this in Brussels. I don't think anyone's surprised about that. So a little bit about us. So my name is David Power. I'm the COO. Prior to Hiri, I spent 4 years working in O2 Ireland, and I headed up the visual design and UX function. Kevin's our CEO. We met because Kevin was working on some projects. He ran a company that built software for multinational companies, and we just hit it off. I'm just going to point to one other person on this slide, and that's Professor Thomas Jackson. He's probably the foremost expert in email in the world today, and he's joined us as a board advisor. We're looking for 750,000 euros. We have 500 of that secured right now, and we're hoping to close the round by the 12th of December. So if anybody's fast with a checkbook, please get in touch with me. Hiri helps you focus on the things that really matter. Thank you very much.